This is how big it is. It's big. Good morning, everybody. For everybody new to the channel, I'm Katie, that's Fluffy Dog, and we are on an epic road trip. We are camped on the banks of the Salmon River this morning in Idaho, and it's lovely. I think today is going to be a big driving day, but I haven't actually made a plan. So we'll see where we end up. Tails in. Your mom has a lot of crap. All right, tail is in. It was a little bit of a trek through the brush to get back to our campsite, but it was a fabulous campsite. And now we're headed north. Vaguely north. Just up the road, there's a little overlook to our camp spot, and is that not beautiful? We were camped right there. That was a really good camp spot. I can't stop my Jeep right here. We're on a really steep incline, so I can't get any closer. But there's flowers blooming. Indian paintbrush and something else, the yellow thing. That's really cool. And that's some seriously pink Indian paintbrush. That's awesome. Love it. This is a really cool gorge. I think it's called Royal Gorge because there was just a little resort that said it was the Royal Gorge Resort. It's really pretty. We're taking a little detour because there was a sign that said there was an old cabin back here, like an old hermit lived back here until 2010, which is kind of crazy that the BLM didn't kick him out. But let's see if we can find it, if this is the right way. It's really cool, no matter what. This is neat. I've turned around because I don't think this is where we were supposed to go. But it's pretty back here. That's a really cool bit of river with all the lava rocks falling into it. And I see a sign ahead that says dugouts, which is a hermit thing. Like hermits built dugouts on the river to like live in. Like it's an Idaho thing. I mean, not everybody in Idaho, but there's some quirky people in Idaho. Oh, there's some interpretive signs. Oh, and there's the cabin. We found it. It's really windy, but this is the cabin and the area where there were dugouts made by Dugout Dick, who lived here for 63 years squatting on BLM land. That's crazy. You can't go in. So he built up all this stone and built this little cabin and wall. You think that place is cool? You want to stay there? This would be a pretty nice place to live. Apparently he'd been there so long that eventually the BLM gave him a lease to live here. And he ended up going to some nursing homes in his old age, but then hitchhiked back here when he was 94 years old and died here. That's kind of crazy, but he lived here for 63 years. Dugout Dick was not the only Idaho hermit. Like, that's a thing here in Idaho, or was a thing here in Idaho. And there were a number of them, from my understanding. I think people like that live their lives on their own terms, and I think that's pretty cool. 45th parallel, halfway between the equator and the North Pole. I love it when they like mark things like that. This is Salmon, Idaho, and it's adorable. And I just had a moment of panic here because I stopped because I was like, I'm gonna get a sandwich. And I couldn't find my wallet. So I have just torn apart the Jeep looking for my wallet, which I found, thank goodness. It was about literally an hour of searching the Jeep. And normally my wallet has a little, this is my wallet, it has a little magnet on it. And normally it lives right here. And for some reason I had put it over on this other side. And I didn't remember doing that. And so I didn't need to tear the Jeep apart. But that is so me to lose my wallet that it didn't even occur to me that it would be someplace right near where I store it normally. Let's go get that sandwich. Sandwich has been obtained from the Junkyard Bistro, and it looks like there's a nice little place down on the Salmon River where we can sit and eat our sandwich. And probably not gonna sit outside because it's kind of breezy. This seems to be like a little boat launch / picnic area, and I hope this puddle isn't that deep. We gotta figure out where to put this au jus that Fluffy's not gonna just drink it. It's like slabs of meat in there. Looks good. That sandwich was quite good. And now we are headed to a hot spring. This one's going to be a kind of developed hot spring. And from what I understand, it's $3. It's managed by the BLM, but I could use one more soak. You gotta stay here for this one. I can't believe there's nobody here. This is fantastic. There's changing rooms, so we're gonna get into our bathing suit. There's 2 constructed pools here, but the water temperature in them is going to be the same. Ooh, and it's warm. It's nice. It's going to take me a minute to get dunked down. I can't stay here very long because Fluffy's waiting in the car. All the windows are down and the wind is blowing, and that's kind of cool, but it's actually almost 70 degrees outside, which is astounding. The wind makes it feel a lot cooler, but I don't want to leave him for very long in the car. So that's the upshot. You could full on swim in here. And while these look like treated pools or something, they're not. This is just spring water. The spring is a hot spring, and the BLM pipes in some cold water so that it's not too hot. It's perfect. So funny thing, I almost didn't come here because I was like, oh, I don't know about developed hot springs. I like the natural ones a lot better, but this is pretty sweet. It also helps that I have it all to myself. That was absolutely delightful. I am so glad I came here. And I kind of think I know why there's nobody here. It's Sunday, and we are deep in Mormon country, and on the highway I saw signs for horses and buggies on the road, so maybe some Amish or Mennonite or something like that too, and they're at church. they're not out here enjoying the hot spring. So, good timing, I think. I have a plan. I do need to cover some miles. So we are driving to Lolo, Montana. That's kind of straight north from here. And there will be plenty of places to camp. It's about 3 hours and 150 miles. So we should be able to make it today. It's late already, it's 2 p.m. But we should be able to make it there. But guys, look at this view. The rain has started up. It's coming down pretty good. Might as well be driving. I don't know if my camera caught it, but we just drove past a small fire. It did not look like a controlled burn since the trees were burning, not piles. But they're taking care of it. There's plenty of official equipment there. We have found ourselves on a very windy mountain road. It's kind of fun. Welcome to Montana. It's snowing. And I would show you the view, but you can't see it because it is so foggy. There's the view. The GoPro does not pick up just how foggy it is. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it picks up the fog that's farther away, but when you're driving through pea soup, the GoPro does not reflect that. And as we're making our way down this pass, it's clearing up a lot. And the snow is turning to rain. Welcome back to Idaho. We are significantly further north and much higher in elevation. And I think this road I'm gonna take is covered in snow. I don't know if that showed up on camera, but the road I was hoping to take is very covered in snow. So we are going to get a little lower in elevation. We've come back down the hill just maybe 5-6 miles and are on this Forest Service road. And we're gonna see if there's someplace to camp back here. Good boy. I think this will do. It's kind of on a busy road. It's on a Forest Service road that I suspect nobody's going to be driving down it tonight. There is a creek and a little pond over here. Fluffy's got his food and water. And I suppose if I drove down the road further, I could probably find something a little further back away from the road. But I've been driving all day long and I'm getting kind of tired, so this'll do. Are you getting yourself muddy? Fluffy's ensuring maximum muddy feet before I put him in the Jeep. I figured I'd walk him around a little bit, but I can't walk too far because this is really marshy. This is pleasant. I think after Fluffy gets his little walk, I'm gonna take the leftover broccoli slaw from lunch and wrap it up in a tortilla and have that for dinner. I wish I just had some good crusty bread to eat with it instead, but I didn't get to the grocery store. So the grocery store in Salmon was closed because it's Sunday. And I saw a couple of grocery stores along the way, but by that time I was over grocery shopping, so I did not do it. So I have tortillas and not good crusty bread, but that's okay. I think I can manage. And I think that after we eat, I'm turning in. Good morning, everybody. It's a little cool this morning, but not too cold. I have my light jacket on, and that's plenty. And we're taking our little fluffy dog walk in a national forest. I'm not sure which national forest, but we're in Montana, near the Montana-Idaho border, and it's quite lovely. The forests are starting to get more dense, more green. Trees are taller, and that's because we're getting closer to the Pacific Northwest. That's quite lovely. Did you put yourself in the car? Are you ready? Are you ready for some adventure? Yeah. As I was getting stuff ready this morning, Fluffy put himself in the car. So I guess he's ready to go. But I should show you where we are first before we go. We have Idaho before us. And night before last, we camped on the Salmon River near Ellis. And then drove north to Salmon, where we got a great sandwich. We took a little detour south to go to a hot spring right here outside of Tendoy, and then backtracked, came back up north, detoured through Montana to Lolo, and went west to near Lolo Pass, and we camped right here in the Bitterroot National Forest. So this part of Idaho, the little panhandle, is where things start to get interesting. And I could go back to Montana and then come up through Montana to get to Canada. Or I could drive south a little bit on this road and then start heading north. You can't really go north through this area. You have to kind of go around. We're gonna take the slightly out of the way southwestern route over Lolo Pass. And it's just pretty. It's a lovely mountain road, and when we get toward the end of it, we're going to start to head north. Lewis and Clark passed over Lolo Pass twice, and they were in dire straits the first time they went over, and were actually saved by the people who lived there, which French trappers called the Nez Perce. Nez Perce. Their actual name is Nimipu. I'm not 100% sure I'm pronouncing that correct, but I think I'm pretty close. And they saved the expedition, mostly by feeding them salmon and foods that they already have, including Camas flower. And at the top of Lolo Pass is this beautiful field of Camas flowers that were planted and propagated by the Nimipu. And it's beautiful. Right now, it's going to be covered with snow. But I did get the opportunity, and just by chance, visited Lolo Pass when the Camas flowers were blooming, and it's stunning. I'll put a link to that video below if you guys want to check out what Lolo Pass looks like in more summery weather. Welcome back to Idaho. And we've come to our first historical marker. When Lewis and Clark camped up this ridge, June 29th of 1806, they ran into a shower of rain with hail, thunder, and lightning that lasted about an hour. That would be kind of frightening up here. This is some pretty steep terrain. And way down there, I can see the river. I've stopped here before. I just forgot that this place was on the Lolo Trail. This is the Devoto Cedar Grove, and this guy Devoto, last name, was the man who edited Lewis and Clark's journals for publication, and I guess he spent a lot of time in this cedar grove camping and kind of taking inspiration. I wonder if Fluffy knows that he has been here before. I don't know. It's hard to say what goes on in his little brain. So it's hard to give you perspective of just how enormous these trees are. This is how big it is. It's big. There we go. His first name was Bernard. The river is flowing kind of wicked fast and cold and high. I don't think we're going for a swim. I think I kind of forgot just how long this road is. It just keeps going and going and going. And I mean, the sign did say 99 miles of twists and turns, and I have driven this road before. And so theoretically, I knew what to expect, but I think I'm running low on groceries. And I'm hungry, and I really want to get to Lewiston so I can get some groceries and get some good food. It is beautiful though. It's a lovely river canyon, and that river is just raging. And I've seen a bunch of kayakers on it, which I suppose they need to kayak it when it's high water levels because there's so many rocks in it. But it still looks a little dangerous to be kayaking this river. That's one of the more mild sections that the kayakers are going to have to go through. It's just a place where I could stop. But there's some serious whitewater. It's getting greener and much more spring-like and a lot warmer as we travel down the canyon. It's quite lovely. As we get closer to Lewiston, the terrain is definitely getting a lot more arid and the river's getting wider. Change of plans. I just stopped in the very charming little town of Orofino, Idaho, and was able to fuel up the Jeep and get some groceries. And I don't know which direction I want to go next. So we are going to look for a campsite around here, right around Orofino. There's a big reservoir here, and I think I should be able to find a free camp spot. We're going to drive down this road and find out. This little road goes up. Like, really up and twisty. Super steep road. It took like 5 minutes to go from the bottom to the top with me going really slow. It's a short road and just goes right up the side of this hill. I didn't have to be in first gear, but I did have to be in second gear the whole way up. And if I went into third, the Jeep just whoop, nope, we're really not going anymore. That's kind of a crazy little windy road for just a regular road. I mean, there's lots of people up here and houses and things. It should be interesting going down that road tomorrow. I'm gonna have to use my clutch to brake all the way down. I do have brand new brakes, so that's good. But you don't want to be sitting on your brakes for that long of a hill. I'm becoming a little concerned that the potential campsite we're heading to might not be a real site. We're just in a lot of kind of rural residential property. So I'm thinking that it might be a privately owned empty lot is what we might be going towards. But we'll see when we get there what it actually is. The place where it says there's free camping, there's not. So let's check out this campground, and we're already all the way back here. So I don't see a fee station. So that's interesting. Huh. I don't see anything about this being a place where fees are charged. I think this will do. That's our view. We're taking a little stroll down to kind of the entrance area just to make sure I'm not crazy that this is free. I don't see any way to pay. So I just chatted with the Army Corps of Engineers guy that was just here, and it's really free. That's absolutely amazing. This is a great camp spot, and apparently they have another free camp spot further or closer to town, essentially, that has water and trash service. That's astounding. This one does not have any water and doesn't have trash service, but I don't need that stuff. So it works great. I think that's pollen. I think there's just a ton of pollen in the water, pine pollen. Oh, it's not terribly cold. I mean, I'm not saying I'd want to jump in there, but it's not super cold. If you had a really hot day, that would be comfortable. All right, Fluffy has splashed around in the water a little bit. We're gonna walk back up to our little camp spot. Sometimes you just stumble into something good. I'm gonna have to go on, I found this one on freecampsites.net, and it had no reviews and no pictures and no actual description. It just had an address and said free campsite. So I think I'm gonna go on there and update that with what the deal is. That's pretty cool. Here's my little campground set up. There's Luffy Dog. Hi. And there's our view. While I'm waiting for some files to download to the computer so that I can do some editing, I'll show you where we are. And look at those clouds. It looks like it's going to rain. The forecast says 0% chance of rain, but I don't believe it. I set up my canopy, and I also put my bug nets on the windows because it's kind of buggy around here. Nothing biting yet, but there's definitely bugs. We started out in the Bitter Creek National Forest and came down Lolo Road all the way to Orofino. And just outside of Orofino, we are camped at an Army Corps of Engineer campground. And next we go north, and Canada's right here. But I've got to figure out which way we're going to go. We could go kind of northwest and end up in Coeur d'Alene, or we could go east and end up with much more chance of getting national forest camping. I would much rather go east and end up in national forest because I've been through Coeur d'Alene and I've been through Lewiston, and there's not much dispersed camping between those two cities. However, I need an oil change, and those two cities, or maybe Moscow, Idaho, are my last chances to get an oil change in Idaho. So we may be going that way. But I'll make that decision tomorrow. I don't have to decide that today. Are you such a good boy? Waiting for sunset? It's gonna be a while. I'm gonna hang out here at camp and do some editing and just grab some snacks for dinner. And then we're going to bed. But it's gonna be a while. I've got some editing to do. And my battery totally died, so I'm gonna talk really fast and hope I have a little bit of time left on my battery life. But we are signing off for today, and I want to thank all you guys for coming along with us. If you enjoyed our journey and want to follow us, subscribe. It costs nothing and it really does help. We'll see you down the road.